It's a brand new year, and today I'm wearing actually my New Year's sweater to celebrate. But while everybody else is out talking about resolutions that they're probably going to break anyway, this is what smart business owners need to be doing instead. So today I'm going to be sharing with you those 7 financial moves you need to start making as soon as you're done singing Auld Lang Syne. All right, fine. Maybe you can wait until that champagne hangover wears off. But hitting the ground running in 2026 and taking care of some of these things is not just going to help you for the tax time that is looming, it's also going to set you up for clarity and profit all year long. And that's what we want to see. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Jamie Trull, CPA and financial educator, and here on this channel, I bring you all the things that you need to stay informed, organized, and profitable in your business finances, so I would love it if you would like and subscribe. Now, if you missed my previous video, which was all about my year-end checklist, what I do before the end of the year, you might want to watch that one after you watch this one. But today's list is what to do once that new year hits, so let's dive in. First and foremost, we need to finalize your year-end bookkeeping. I know this is one you saw coming, but this is super important because a lot of the steps to come are going to rely on having accurate books. So if in your mind you're thinking April is when you need to have your books ready for tax purposes, remember there are a lot of things that are dependent on having your books done. So what you're going to want to do is make sure all of those transactions have been brought in to your bookkeeping software or spreadsheet and have been properly categorized. And then you want to reconcile those accounts, especially in December. If you haven't reconciled all year, that is okay. You can reconcile for the full year. It might be a little bit more painstaking, but you can do it. And that helps to show that your cash accounts and your credit card accounts are accurate and that you don't accidentally double count anything or leave out anything. Now, if you don't know what I mean by reconciling your account, really all that means is comparing your bank statement to what you are showing as your balances in your financial software. And depending on what kind of software you use, I probably have a tutorial that'll help you figure out how to reconcile your accounts if you just check out the additional videos on my channel. And I'll be honest, reconciling can either be super easy or a total pain, depending on if things reconcile out the first time you do it. So there is no shame in getting help. Go find a bookkeeper as soon as possible and they can help you clean up your books for last year. Now, the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to review your numbers. Remember, bookkeeping is not just for taxes. I'm going to say it again. Bookkeeping is not just for taxes. The main reason we do bookkeeping is to give us important insights into the performance of our business. So you want to pull that profit and loss statement and look at what it's telling you. Again, your profit and loss is really just your revenue, money you brought in, minus your expenses, money that went out to come up with your profit. So if it's higher or lower than you expected it to be, this is a great time to be diving in to understand the why behind it. And this is just generally a great exercise to do, to also go back and compare it to the prior year or the prior quarter and see how things are trending. I get a lot of great insights about my business by using the comparison method. Even if you don't know what the numbers mean, you will be able to pick out trends simply by comparing period over period or year over year. And now is also a good time to go back and check how you did versus how you expected to do. If you had a budget or a forecast for the year, how'd you end up? Have you even looked at that budget or forecast you made since the beginning of the previous year? And if not, we're going to talk about habits a little bit later on how we can integrate looking at this routinely throughout the year, which will help you be able to pivot during the year versus waiting until the end of the year to actually be able to see the insights that your numbers have for you. And this is a great time to really dive into where your money went and where it came from. And again, just dive deeper if anything doesn't seem like it makes sense. I like to use this time to really sense check my books. Maybe something is off that even if you have a bookkeeper, they didn't recognize. So this is a great time. If something looks off, dive into it. You might be right. Trust your instincts. And this is really important to do, not just because we need this information for our taxes, again, but also because we can't set goals for the current year without really adequately being able to look back and understand where we've been. All right, number 3, now it's time to prep for taxes. And there's lots of things we need to do here. So first and foremost, there are estimated taxes that are due on January 15th. If you're not sure how to pay estimated taxes or what they're for, definitely check out this video where I walk through it. But the short story is, as a small business owner or independent contractor or freelancer, we are now responsible for our own taxes, and we are supposed to pay in throughout the year. Plus, that also helps to avoid that April 15th surprise when all of a sudden we owe a bunch of taxes that we didn't plan for. On the tax front, also, it's important to note that January 31st is the deadline for filing 1099s. So if you paid a contractor typically by cash or check, then you are likely going to need to send them a 1099 if that amount was over $600 for 2025, or going forward in 2026, that threshold's moving up to $2,000. If you want to know more about when you might need to send a 1099 and how exactly to do that, definitely watch this video I just did next. And the next thing to do is make sure you have a plan for filing your taxes. Maybe you already have a person who does your taxes every year, so you already know what that plan is and when you need to get things to them. But if not, you need to go find that tax accountant now. Good tax accountants, and honestly bad tax accountants, get booked up really, really early. So the earlier you can get on somebody's radar screen, the better. And doing this early will also help prevent the need to file an extension later. Extensions aren't a huge deal, but it's nice to just get things done and dusted. And again, this is a great time to be gathering any additional information you may need to give to your tax accountant. If you already have one, they may have already given you this list of what they're going to need. But again, if not, you're going to want to be collecting things like deductions, home office deductions, mileage, anything that may not be captured within your bookkeeping system that you want to be able to deduct. All right, so once we've gotten through those first 3 steps, those are the must-dos for essentially a compliance perspective. All right, so now moving on, those first 3 things were really all about compliance. We need to get this stuff together so that we can file our taxes on time. But how do we make things easier for us? We need to not ignore all the steps that we can take now to make this year better for our business from a performance perspective and easier on ourselves from a compliance perspective. And who doesn't want things to be easier? So right now is a great time to look at your habits and your processes. What is broken? You're gonna feel it right now. The rest of the year, you might not feel it, but right now, when you're getting everything ready for taxes, you know what didn't work. So write that down and think about how you can solve that problem for next time. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in fixing the problem that we're currently in that we forget that we can prevent this next time. So that may just be putting dates on your calendar to remember when things are due. Or it could be actually changing the tools that you're using within your business to make tax time easier. Now, if you are not currently using a bookkeeping software like QuickBooks Online, Xero, FreshBooks, I highly recommend checking that out, especially if this time is really stressful for you right now, because that will help take so much of that pressure off. Having a good system that you use routinely just can change the game, both for taxes and for actually being able to see what's happening in your business. So if you want to check out what those options are, definitely go to jamietrull.com/accounting. Not only do I help you decide what the best platform is for you, but I also have special deals that I have negotiated just for my audience. These are special secret deals, but you got to go over to the website to see them. And another tool that you might want to look at changing is your business banking. Maybe you need one that's more than just a bank account. Maybe you need something that actually has functionality that's going to help keep you on top of your finances and organized. I love Relay. That's what I've been using for my business banking for a while now. And my favorite feature of Relay is still the first thing that they ever did, even though they've added lots of amazing features. I still absolutely love the ability to open up multiple accounts under one kind of umbrella and have them be true separate accounts, and also be able to automate transfers between them. So when money comes into one, I can automatically move it into, let's say, my taxes account to make sure I'm saving adequately for taxes. Or put it into my pay yourself account to make sure that I actually take money out to pay myself and I know how much I have available to do that. So if you're interested in finding out more about the banking resources that I recommend, go to jamietrull.com/banking. So now let's jump into the fifth thing that I recommend. And this is where we get to kind of be in the dreamy space, right? This is not the to-dos and all the things that we got to make happen. This is about setting goals for the current year. So sometimes we try to get a jump on this and do this at the end of the prior year, but at that point, we don't even have all the information yet, all the financial statements for that current year. So remember, we need to make sure that when we're looking forward, we're also looking backward and using all of that information and insights to make decisions on what's reasonable going forward. We don't want to pick a number out of the air. We want to actually have a way to get there, right? So maybe you start with having a number, a goal, and then you figure out if that is achievable, right? How much are you going to sell at what price in order to achieve those goals? And y'all who've been here know what I'm about to say next. Don't just make those goals based on revenue. I want you to make goals that are based on profit, because revenue is great and all, but if very little of that is actually coming back into your pocketbook, what was the point? If you're keeping 10 cents on every dollar, we need to change that. So make sure you're setting both revenue, but also profit goals to make sure that that keeps you on track with what really matters. And then once you've done that, I don't want you to just put this goal, this forecast into, I've done this before where I just kind of throw it in a drawer and forget about it. That is not what we want. We want to take that and then cut it down and say, okay, if this is my goal for the year, what does that mean on a quarterly basis? What does that actually look like? And I want you to put it somewhere where you're going to actually be able to use it as a living document that you come back to. Because what we don't want is, oh no, we missed our Q1 goals and now we're going to miss our year-end goals. No, now we need to figure out, okay, we missed our Q1 goals. How can we get back on track to make sure we still have a chance at hitting those big goals we have for the full year, right? And we can only do that if we're paying attention to it and we're keeping it handy and referencing it regularly. I don't know about you, but I have a giant whiteboard over here. That is where my goals go so that I am always looking at it. So maybe pin it on your wall, put it somewhere where you can see it, and save that document somewhere where you can pull it up easily and utilize it all year. And if you're trying to set new habits and make sure that you're looking at these things all year long, if you want to know exactly what I do on a weekly and monthly basis, check out this video where I go through my entire Money Monday routine and how I stay on track with my finances all year long. All right, now the sixth thing to be thinking about, especially when you're in forecasting phase, right? When we're thinking about this year and what's coming up. If you have a big jump in the revenue that you want to make, what are your investments going to be this year? What do you need to invest in to get there? It is not very common that we can increase our revenue without increasing our expenses. And we need to make sure that when we do that, it is worthwhile. Do you need to hire someone? Is that going to be a big investment for you this year? Do you want to create a new offer and launch that or repackage your current offers? Do you need to do some upgrading to your systems and your software? All of that costs both time and money. And so you want to make sure you're considering that at this stage. What are those big investments going to be? And how can you make sure that you're going to get a return on those investments? Thinking about that now also helps prevent any surprises that could completely wreck our budget. And the seventh and last thing that I really think people should do going into the new year is to really be thinking about what's going to work for them. And that means I would love for you to revisit my money personality test. If you've taken it already, you know what you are. Are you an accumulator? Are you a romantic? What drives you when it comes to the choices that you make with money? And how can you use that, right? How can you use how you already think about things and who you already are to really use your superpowers in order to help your business, right? So we want to be aware of what those superpowers are so that we can put them to work, and also what our challenges are based on our money personality type so that we can avoid those pitfalls. And if you haven't taken it yet, go to jamietrull.com/quiz. That's where you're going to be able to walk through that and determine which of the 8 money personality type or types, I think sometimes people are more than one, that actually represents who you are. And that's going to really help you see yourself and set up systems that are going to work for you, not for somebody else. If Now, if you're feeling a little bit discombobulated, you're not exactly sure what your next steps are, or maybe you haven't done your bookkeeping all year and you're trying to get caught up, the next thing I want you to check out is my Ultimate Tax Bundle, which has all the things that you need in order to get organized fast. You can check out what's in that at jamietrull.com/tax time. And you're also going to get our special YouTube only offer, which is good for a limited time. And if you haven't yet, go back and watch this video where I talk about the things to do right before the end of the year, which pairs perfectly with this video. Thanks for joining me. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.